Welcome back to the very picturesque Champéry in Switzerland. A really nice look over the valley where we sit and where these guys sit as well. We're only here for a couple of weeks, but these guys will be kicking around a little bit longer, you would hope. That's an overview of the Palladium down there, where all the action's happening this week at the 2014 Gruyère European Curling Championships. My name is Logan Gray, and alongside me, Kenny Edwards, to bring you live commentary of our 6th session of the women's competition. Russia undefeated up against Germany on 3 wins and 2 losses. And our first look at the teams there. Russia have made some changes. Obviously felt like mixing things up a bit because things were getting a little bit too easy for them. So here is the lineup. Ekaterina Kalkina playing lead for Russia. Nikaruka Eshke playing second, previously the alternate, and third player Margarita Fomina. Skip player Anna Sidorova, and alternate Alexandra Saitova, who's been playing second this week, and Roger Schmidt is the coach. Here's the Germans: Lisa Ruch playing lead, Kerstin Ruch the second, Monika Wagner playing third for Germany, and Andrea Schupp, of course, the skip, with her brother Rainer on the bench coaching.
So let's take a look at the standings so far. It's Russia who lead the way on 5 wins. You see Germany, their opposition this afternoon, on 3 wins, 2 defeats. Elsewhere though, Estonia and Czech Republic yet to get off the mark. They trail at the bottom of the table. So other matchups are Finland, really going well this week, taking on Denmark. Czech Republic against Switzerland, Latvia, Sweden, and over on sheet E, Estonia versus Scotland.
So Russia will be wearing the dark tops and throwing the red stones, and Germany wearing the white tops and playing the yellow stones. And it will be Ekaterina Galkina getting us underway, the 26-year-old full-time curler. She's put in some stellar performances so far this week, and it's generally one of the most consistent leads in the world. And the perfect start, as expected.
Yeah, I don't expect Russia to get too involved with Germany here.
So here's Lisa Ruch, the 21-year-old student, with her first stone of the game. At least I actually lives in Switzerland in Wolfertsville. Well, Kenny, we've seen some impressive performances from this Russian side this week, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. They've just done the basics well, though, Logan. They've kept things clean. They've not really got too involved round a corner guard, and they've kept the play in the house, and they've just waited for the mistake. They've been really patient.
Yeah, certainly clinical stuff from the Russians. They've only conceded 8 points in total for their last 4 games, so just terrific play, averaging over 9 shots a game as well. And no performance more impressive than their game last night against Scotland, where they only needed 6 ends to see off Eve Muirhead's rink. Just couldn't put a foot wrong. So here's Nikaruka Eshke, the 31-year-old. She's spent most of her years at these international competitions, but we do normally see her on the bench. Certainly since 2011, she's been the alternate for this team. So here's Kerstin Ruch, 23-year-old who resides in St. Gallen, where the World Curling Tour hold their annual end-of-season tour finals. And that's not a great start there for Kerstin. So just a reminder of the rules here. 6 hands minimum, 38 minutes thinking time for both teams, and both teams will get a 60-second timeout to use whenever they wish. Kenny, obviously Russia have made a team change here. Why would you choose to do that? They're winning. They've just won 5 games in a row convincingly.
Yeah, they obviously maybe think that they can just maybe give the alternate a game just so they feel part of the team, maybe. But it's a very risky strategy to switch it up, especially after 5 games on the bounce.
Well, they do have a 1-game cushion at the moment over Finland, and you probably would expect Finland to drop more games. So maybe they think this is quite a nice opportunity to get SK out on the ice and get her some experience, just in case there is a illness or injury in the team later on in the week. Here's 26-year-old Margarita Fomina from Moscow, plays in the Moskvich Curling Club, and she was making everything yesterday, wasn't she, Kenny?
Yeah, she was. She was by far the best player on the ice yesterday. Did make a slight mistake there, though, by not rolling into the rings.
Yeah, a bit of a let-off there for the Germans after that miss earlier in the end from Kerstin Ruch. Here's Monika Wagner, long-term teammate of Andrea Schupp. Also played very well yesterday in our featured game against Denmark.
Yeah, it really did bring her A game for the second half of that game, like ends 5 onwards.
When you do make a team change like this, Kenny, can it interfere with the team dynamics?
It can do, but these guys do tour the world, play out in Canada a lot, so I expect they do change the lineup quite regularly. So I think for a team like Russia, it's not too big a deal to be switching it up. Take a look at the rock clock just to see what time we've seen this week. We're looking for around 14.5 seconds for a T-line drop.
Well, this one's over curling. I think it's short of speed as well. 15.4. And that's nowhere even close from Monika Wagner. In a sense, she has been a little bit problematic for the teams this week. Playing on sheet A on the end board, and I seem to remember it wasn't the easiest sheet to play in 2010 when Champéry holded the European Masters here. Sorry, the European Championships here.
Yeah, there's some shock results back in 2010. There's been a couple this week as well. But chance now here. They've got a couple of corner guards. I think Russia will just elect to come around these and try and force the one.
Anna Sidorova, the 23-year-old, has been curling for the shortest period of time in the team. Previously a figure skater. And this one slides nicely in behind the guards and could possibly still be seen from the hack by Andrea. Of course, Germany have the last stone here in this first end. And interesting the way the standings are shaping up this week, with Russia on 5 wins and Finland on 4, but then we have a stack of 5 teams all on 3 wins and 2 losses, including Andrea Schopp and Germany. I think we can probably discount the bottom 3 now, and here she is, the German skip. Curled for 39 years, incredible.
Yeah, Andrea got a lot of experience and a lot of medals at European and World Championships. But you're not going to win a medal if you throw it like that. It was a disastrous shot, catching the corner guard and rolling to the centre.
Yeah, Andrea has 12 medals at the European Curling Championships, 7 of them gold. Most recent being in 2009 in Aberdeen, Scotland.
Yeah, so Russia will just come around on the out turn. The reason they're coming the out turn is it's probably a lot safer to come this hand. A lot more room, a lot more space.
Well, I also think there's a better chance to get close to the button here. Get a good close look at Anna's very positive release, puts a lot of rotation on the stone. Certainly been working well for her this week. This has been the easier side of the sheet to play for the teams as well.
That's a nice shot. Maybe just over curled a couple inches, but I think you're going to be relatively happy with that.
Well, that was a gift from Andrea with her first stone, leaving a centre guard for Russia to come around, and didn't the Russians put it to good use with this draw.
So it's forcing Germany out wide to draw fully 4 for their single point. It's a great force in the first. It's a final stone from Andrea Schopp here in the first end. So how's the swooping doing on this one? Have they done enough to drag it down?
Well, they're certainly going to cut it to 1. Maybe not so certainly, but it does manage to crawl far enough into the house to cut it to 1, and it's going to be a steal in the first end. One end played here in session 6, and it's Russia 1, Germany 0.
So second end, Russia leading 1-0. Nice steal for Anna Sidrova in the first.
Yeah, clinical stuff once again, Kenny. Just a disastrous first one by Andrea Schopp, hitting and rolling to the centre line, leaving a guard. And Anna Sidorova really punishing the Germans for that. So Germany are going to throw the corner guard and try and get something going. And Andrea body checks Monica out of the way. Monica does say in her biography that one of her interests are doing nothing, so she's getting that option right now.
Yeah, so Ekaterina Galkina for Russia. Long time lead on this team. Been on the team 9 years.
Yeah, and she's had a whole list of successes as well. Of course, winning the Europeans in 2006 and 2012 as well. And of course, this Russian team picked up their first ever world medal for their nation at the World Championships in St. John this year.
Yeah, it's not been a great season though. They didn't manage to medal at the Olympics, which was really their main focus for the season.
Yeah, they actually finished up in 9th position, can you believe, at the Olympics. They were 9th in 2010 as well, and 6th in 2006. So a slight mistake there by Germany, and Russia can now put the guard on that stone in the 4-foot. They're just in front of the 4-foot circle. Nikarika Eşke.
Yeah, we've liked this one a little bit tighter to the house. It's fairly long. So you see the score, that single point for Russia in the first is what separates the teams at the moment.
Yeah, and that guard in the perfect line with the stone in the house, but there's a good 20 feet between the guard and the shot stone. A bit longer than they would have hoped for, but this is over curling. So another big mistake there from Kirsten Ruch. Looks like a guard again for Russia, but meanwhile on sheet D, here's Sweden and Latvia. Iveta Stasas-Arsune throwing the last stone of the first end for the Latvians. Sweden have put together a couple of nice victories to get their challenge back on track, handing Finland their only defeat last night. just doesn't catch enough of that red pocket onto the yellow to get shot. So a steal of 1 in the first end, and Sweden leading by 1 shot to 0.
Yeah, it's a nice guard though. Again, might have wanted that a little bit closer to the house. But as we said at the start, Logan, Russia just doing the basics very well, forcing Germany to play the difficult shots. Should have been called on early in this. And this looks as if it may have over-curled. And doesn't manage to spin the yellow down into the house, but does block the out-turn.
There's Roger Schmidt, the Russian coach for the last couple of seasons. And it'll just be the same guard again here for Margarita Fomina, and Germany just need to be a little bit careful with the last stone here. These guards are starting to spread themselves out right across the house, and they will want to make sure they can score in this second end. If yesterday's anything to go by, you certainly don't want to drop a couple of shots behind this Russian team.
Yeah, they're really strong when they're ahead, and now that's a real difficult pull for Germany.
Wobei ist halt blöd mit dem, gell?
And there's Roger's opposite number, Rainer Schupp.
Yeah, I think he'll be a little bit concerned.
A little bit of head scratching going on there.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to go for this run back again. I'm just wondering if they might be better trying to play a double peel and get that centre opened right up.
Ja. Wow. Ja.
Monica was pretty deadly with the takeouts yesterday.
Wow. Ja.
Can she get Germany out of this one?
Yeah, so doesn't make the run back, but does tighten up that centre line. The guard gets a little bit closer to the centre, so if Russia could play another nice tight guard, it's going to look really difficult for Germany to get a yellow stone in there. So, coming up for Russia. Maybe just put a little bit too much weight on that.
Yeah, she had a bit of a rocky delivery, and then looked like she just kind of a bit of a jerky release to give it a bit of extra speed.
It's not the worst result though.
Well, certainly much better situation though for Russia, for Germany, although they're lying 2 against. It's a, you've got a chance to make a play in the house and get a yellow stone in there.
So just takes the one off, and is that going to hang around? It's not.
Well, now Germany could really find themselves in trouble. Meanwhile, on sheet E, all the way on the other side of Le Palladium, here's Eve Muirhead with her final stone of the first end, playing the winless Estonia. Having a bit of a rough welcome back to the A group, Estonia. And Scotland lying 1 at the moment. Can they get a piece of the forfeit for 2, I wonder?
Yeah, it looks as if it's pulled up in time.
Yep, good enough. bit wider than I would have planned, but still 2 on the board for Scotland and a great start and a must-win game for the Scottish team. So we can try and find this guard again. Here's plenty of rotation.
Yeah, that one's a little bit high for me, Logan. Really need to have that one short of the rings.
Katarina Galkina just picking one of Monica Wagner's stickers off the ice, I think. We saw a bit of controversy yesterday with the Scotland-Germany game. I wouldn't have liked to see what would have happened if that had picked up on one of Monica's stickers.
So Andrea looking for a double and roll in behind the corner. And sticks the red in. And don't think that yellow will be counting. So for a third time, Russia have the chance to throw the guard. This time, do you play the tap or do you throw the guard?
I think you're better to come into the rings this time and try and tap that red up. Put a little bit more pressure on Germany. What you don't want to do is just throw a guard and then Germany throws some sort of a raise onto that red and picks it out to blank the end. If you go into the rings, you're almost guaranteeing that there'll be a score in the end. And Germany can't really score more than one at the moment.
Получается такой же вес. Дальше мы делаем 2. Да, я сейчас прям уверенно начала.
So, just looking for this one, maybe T-weight to tap the red back a couple of feet. So sweepers wanting to go for weight. And this one looks, it's not good enough to tap it.
No, it does enough to get into the rings though. And it will force Germany to play a shot to score.
Yeah, that's a real tough draw now though. Looking at the in-turn draw is probably not there. It's very, very tight.
Yeah, the easiest way might be to kind of come down on the in-turn and bounce off one of these red stones to get down in there.
Und den langsam abspielen ist halt auch heikel. Da rollt mir mein Spielstand auch zu weit weg. Ich sehe den ja nur halt.
Yeah, this is a real hard shot.
Ich kann nur versuchen, einen abzuhängen. Ich komme da fast nicht mehr, dass ich shot wird.
Well, I think it's especially hard for Andrea Shop with the kind of lazy handle that she throws. The stone's really going to be curling at the end, and that just makes this port a little bit smaller to navigate. There's Anna Sidorova throwing it, then to have a lot of rotation on it, and the stone would potentially run a bit straighter. So here it is, final stone of the second end, and not an easy one. Quite a lot of rotation, I think, for one of Andrea's shots. So she's maybe savvy to this.
Line's looking okay at the moment. Have they done enough to bounce it down in for shot? That's a great shot by the skip.
Terrific shot by the 49-year-old. And ties this game up in an end that looked all Russia. 2 ends played here. It's Russia 1, Germany 1. Let's take another look at that final stone of the first end, and a very nicely thrown draw by Andrea, and well looked after by the sweepers. Pushing it down there into the 4-foot circle to score 1 yellow and 1 for Germany. And Kenny, it will be important for Germany to hold on to the Russians' coattails in this game, won't it?
Yeah, it sure will be. I don't think you can go 2 or 3 down to these Russian guys, because they're so good at peeling the guards when they're 2 up. But nice aggressive call here from Anna Sidorova, going for the corner guard.
Yeah, they've really dictated the play so far in this game, and should feel confident after winning their first 5 games. So corner guard up and try and score their 2 here in the 3rd end.
Just made it over, Logan. A little bit longer than they would have liked.
Yeah, that's not much use where it is, but maybe they might be able to get another corner guard round there at some point.
Germany just looking to protect that one on the centre line.
A nice setup play by Lisa Ruch. I'm just going to take a peek on sheet C. Czech Republic and Switzerland. Czech Republic leading the reigning world champions by 1-0. And here's Vinja Felcher. Final stone of the 2nd end. Sweepers don't look that interested in this one. Well, it's just really an open draw for 2. And can the Czech Republic get this one far enough? They can. It's only going to be 1 for Switzerland, and a big mistake there by Vinja Felcher. 2 ends played there, and it's a tied game.
Yeah, nice tap from Russia. But do leave themselves wide open now. Interesting to see how important that red stone that's just over the hog line comes into shot now. I expect it might play a part later on in the end.
Well, those 2 yellow stones in the house not really threatening Russia. Finland and Denmark on sheet B, blanked 1st end. And here's Lena Nielsen trying to get a score on the board in the second end. Big game for Denmark. If they could win that one and tie things in the standings with Finland, and they would have ranking over them as well. So a score of 1 for Finland, a steal there, and they're going to take a 1-0 lead after 2 ends. Roger Schmidt looking on in the background there. Maybe missing his pal on the bench. Of course, Nikaruka Eshke coming in from alternate for this game.
So that's a really nice hit on the nose there.
Germany certainly dictating this end.
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with taking this yellow on. You either just play the draw around the corner or you spray the centre open.
I've got to say I quite like opening up the middle and maybe trying to make the double on the centre line and roll to a corner. But the call is well played by Eshke.
So Monica Wagner just going to take the red out. Got to watch the jam on the back. Yellow.
I think it's looking a little bit wayward here. It's going to roll out the way and just grips a piece of the 12-foot. So Russia just need to be a little bit careful. Kind of getting sucked around the middle here a little bit.
Yeah, the reason they're having to come the out turn is because of that red guard played by Katarina Galkina early on in the game. It's beginning to hurt them now.
Well, for me, the bigger concern is just that they've not got the hammer. So they do have the hammer, and they're going around this centre guard. There's a few yellows kicking about around the outside, and it's always a dangerous tactic getting sucked in around the centre when you have the last stone.
Yeah, they played that one quite nicely though. You see it's tucked right in behind.
Well, Germany are going to opt for the takeout here. You'd say a lot of teams try and freeze that stone because it's so close to the button that makes it difficult for Russia to score two. That being said, it's also difficult for Russia to score two if they don't have any stones in the house.
Oh, that's a great shot by Monica. Makes the hit and rolls to the edge of the 4-foot.
Yeah, she's just getting stronger and stronger as the week goes on.
Ja, Gott sei Dank. Das zieht sie nicht. Das ist in ihrer Abgabe.
Doesn't pass the guard by a whole lot, but does the job.
They really need to make a nice hit and roll. And just probably sits second now. It does pose a little bit of danger for Germany.
Yeah, slightly misjudged there by Anna Sidorova with the line call. easiest one to get at, but I would hope with Germany lying short position that they'll take the opportunity to go around the centre guard here and really turn up the heat on Russia.
Ja, ich weiß. Wobei es dann nicht mal. Weiß nicht, es ist halt so auch schwierig, da hinten reinzukommen. So. Wobei der vorhin wäre schon gewesen, ja.
I mean, the thing is, you could play the takeout on the wing here, but you know Russia are going to play the draw around the centre anyway, so better to get it in there first.
Also ich spiele hinter die Center da, ja.
Czech Republic and Switzerland. I just saw a big miss there from Binja Felcher with her final stone of the second end as she tried to hit the paint to score 2. Well, here's the Czech Republic now with a takeout to score 2. Maybe even 3. And Super's having to work hard for this one. But it's looking good. And there's a red actually just at the bottom of the screen there. How many is it? I wonder. We'll get back to you on that one.
Yeah, so looking back at our feature game, that draw by Andrea Schopp slipping to the back 8 foot, and if Russia could come down and just get something top of the 4, they'd look good for scoring 2.
Yeah, and just confirmation from the umpires on sheet C that it was a score of 3 for the Czech Republic, and they now lead Switzerland by 4 shots to 1. Yeah, Andrea really needed to keep her draw in front of the tee line there. So Germany lying 2 at the moment.
Oh, that's a nice shot right down into the 4. Couldn't have asked for any more. It's tucked right in. Would you select to tap this, or would you just corner freeze it?
No, I think Andrea's best option is to try and freeze that red stone. It would be extremely hard for Russia to wiggle a second one in there if she did so.
Versucht ihn abzuspielen, so wie Monika. Also ein Tick langsamer als Monika. Okay.
Yeah, I think just out turn up against the edge of the red is the call. So Andrea just trying to corner freeze.
No, I think she's trying to play the high quay takeout here. Well, not even close, really. Just squeezes a couple of yellows in there, but it's going to be an open draw for 2 for Russia. And the risk pays off going around that centre guard. Maybe with some better stone positioning by the Germans, then it wouldn't have come to this.
Yeah, it's a straightforward draw for 2, and it's Germany that's just taking their foot off the gas, really. So looking for maybe 14.5 on the rock clock.
Вообще пока даже не начал валить.
Well, only 13.5. And it rears up in time. So a nice draw there by Sidorova. And Russia take the 2-shot lead for the first time in the game. And Germany with it all to do here against the perfect Russians. 3 ends played. Russia 3, Germany 1.
So Anna Sadrova making the draw for 2 to take the lead. Lead 3-1 as we go into the 4th end here at the European Curling Championships 2014 from the Palladium in Champéry, Switzerland. So I think Germany will elect to be the aggressives this time, throw in the corner guard.
Oh, nein, 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 der muss callen. Nein, 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 nein. Jetzt. Gut, Lisa.
Третий! Мне нравится, да, если что, дом. Это пятый!
And I think this time Russia will just come in on top. I don't think they'll throw it tight to the house.
I think it's a bit of an either-or shot. It's tight to the house or into the rings. It's not, certainly don't want a long guard. Katerina Galkina really leading the way for this team at 85% for the competition.
Yeah, that's pulled up a little bit short for me, really. Needs to be right in on top.
Galkina top of all the leads so far this week on 85. And as a team, Russia outplaying all the other teams by 6%.
So it's a nose hit from Germany. This is the first European Championships for the young front end of Germany. Monica and Andrea have got lots of experience under their belts, but a new experience for the front end.
Eshke playing 88% for the tournament. I'm guessing that's also her game stat. This, of course, her first appearance this week.
Bisschen schneller als Lisa.
Kirsten Ruch struggling a little bit this week, only on 67%. First time on the big stage for Kirsten. And brand new to playing with this Andrea Schopp team.
And that one just over curls into the centre. But it's not a disaster, that. She erred on the professional side. Russia probably just throw a guard on the red stone in the 8 foot. This one maybe drifting a little bit far. Puts them quite close together, and there's now a double rolling behind the corner. With this shot, the key is just to make a good shooter. You're not really worried about the double. If you can get your shooter in behind the corner, you're looking odds on to score a 2.
Well, there's definitely a chance here for the Germans. At the moment, I think one of the things that the Germans are always a little bit guilty of are throwing these hit and roll, hit and sticks too heavy in my book anyway. If you're throwing them that big weight, you need to be so much more accurate. You've got much less of the stone to hit to get a good result, and maybe with less weight, and Ruch hits that same part of the stone, then it sticks around them behind the corner guard. So you'll certainly see the Russians throw lighter weight when they're trying to make a hit and stick.
This is a better looking shot from Fomina for Russia.
Fomina playing 83% for the week at third. Excellent play. So a nice run back there from Monica Wagner.
Good, Monica.
And even gets some praise from Andrea Schopp for that one. Here's Latvia and Sweden. Anna Hasselborg with her final stone of the third end. And needs to be in the 4 foot circle to score 2. And the supers are really going to have to push for this one. Nicely done by Knoppenauer and Plug. Gets it down in there. And Sweden lead Latvia by 3 shots to 1.
So Russia did manage to draw around half in behind the yellow.
Yeah, not really close enough to the button to concern Germany, and Monica Wagner going to draw around the corner guard, playing 69% for the week, as we just saw.
And that's a nice draw in behind the corner to sit shot.
Well, I've got to say, 69% for the week is actually not that bad when you throw a 39 into the mix. So game 2, Monica had a bit of a shocker, but she seems to be getting better and better as the week goes on for me. That's a terrific draw there.
Yeah, Monica has had a couple of years away from the international scene. Not back playing with Andrea Schopp. I think Andrea maybe just feels a little bit more at home with Monica on the ice.
And Sidorova playing 85% at skip. Fantastic play. But you know what, when your team are playing as well in front as they are in front of you, then you're probably just going to be throwing a lot of guards.
So just going to try and come around the centre and ignore the yellow. And sweepers are going really hard for weight on this one. Line's pretty high. But doesn't do enough to get into shot position.
It's useful there, and it'll certainly be a concern for the Germans.
Ja, würde ich so sagen.
Yeah, nice hitting roll across to the right hand side as we look at that one would be nice for Germany.
Die Kratzspur.
Andrea, just like Monica, playing 69% for the week.
Yeah, bounced onto this one pretty quick. See the stone curling hard there. Does get past. Slides down in.
Gets a lovely little kiss off the backside of that red stone.
Yeah, Germany looking really good for a 3 now.
Well, this is the first time we've really seen Russia under any sort of pressure. They may just have to play a draw around the centre, or they could play a freeze around the corner. Let's take another look at that one. Andrea Schopp delivering that one on the out turn. It does overcurl a little bit, but just watch, just rubs off the underside of the red stone just to hold it in behind. And a terrific result from the German skipper. So maybe just a bit of damage limitation for the Russians. They're just going to pick this yellow stone out. Good call, Kenny?
Yeah, I think so. You've got to play the scoreboard. Don't want to go up and end up leaving Andrea Schopp a chance for a 3. So if you can just pick this one clean out, force Andrea to draw for 2, and the game would still be tied. You have last stone advantage. So clean picks the yellow and leaves Andrea a draw to the equally 8 really, just to pick up 2 points and level the game.
Yeah, and sensibly picking the same path that Monica Wagner threw just a couple of stones before.
Yeah, so final stone of the 4th end. Hog to hog split time on this. And it's a little bit pacey, 13.5. So does manage to score 2 though, just crashes into the yellow in the 8 foot. So the game all tied at 3-3 after 4 ends.
Это важные особенно броски такие, когда там лучше всего ставить ударов, надо куда ошибиться.
Думаем, все, думаем. Ну это так себе, так всегда, смотрите, все.
So, a nice 2 from Germany around the corner guard, ties the game back up. Russia scoring 2 in the 3rd end.
Good, Lisa.
And Germany choosing to go into the rings. Russia going to go after the deuce once more and throw a corner guard. Ekaterina Galkina to play.
Ближе! Весом! Начало пока! Начало! Федо? Да, пока да! Стой, Ань!
So that corner guard slipping into the rings though, so a slight mistake from Russia. So that probably should shape what happens in this end, even from the first couple of stones of the end.
Yeah, they're just not playing quite as well as they have been at the moment, the Russians, and Germany hanging with them. German front end just struggling to find their hitting sticks at the moment.
Одна-две сам! Внимание, внимание! Кира, пожалуйста, рука, перед Рита! Для линии надо, Рита! Да, поближе, давайте, еще, ближе! Надо, для линии.
That stone, the second stone of Ekaterina Galkina, just isn't curling as much as the other stones on that sheet, so maybe it's just a bad rock they've got.
Certainly been something to contend with, I know, by the other teams, but over here in sheet B, here's Finland and Denmark. And Denmark laying a good one in there at the back of the button. Sanna Pustinen, the Finnish skip. keeping a little bit tight away here. Oh, certainly on the guard. I don't think it's got the weight to do anything else. It's going to be a steal for Lena Nielsen and Denmark, and 4 ends played. Denmark 3, Finland 1.
So nose hit from Russia. Doesn't quite make the rolling behind the guard. So can they make the hit and roll off the centre stone? Looks to have maybe rolled a little far. And Anna Sidrova just going to ignore that yellow rock in the 12 foot and just come around the corner.
Oh, absolutely, Kenny. This is quite a nice chance here for Russia with the last stone. No, no clutter on the centre line, and a free chance really to go around the corner. Let's try to make the deuce. Well, I think the supers think they're going to have to go coast to coast on this one.
Yeah, they're working hard, but don't think that one's going to make the paint. Pulls up short. So maybe the team change has just changed the dynamic ever so slightly for Russia.
Yeah, we have seen all the teams struggle over in this shoot. Not really seen any great performances over here. So maybe it's the same for the Russians.
This is a great draw from Monica Wagner.
Yeah, and keeps it above the Yellowstone on the wing as well. So a terrific shot there. And Sidorova standing hands on hips after this one. Good look at the late curl on these stones, really aggressive, and does a super job of tucking in behind that red guard.
Yeah, I think this is probably all you've got. I don't think the Russian girls will get as much swing as Monica Wagner. Just that sort of loose, lazy handle, as you said. Just adds to the curl at the end.
I think Fomina thinks she's a little bit wide here. The other option would be to come around and kind of try and chip the coast red into the house.
Yeah, it's only managed to peel one of them off.
I'd say it's not really a great position for either team at the moment. I mean, Germany, fair enough, they're in a position to force one, but they're not really going to get a steal where the stones are at the moment. Over on sheet D, here's Iveta Stasas-Arsunet. Trailing by 3 shots to 1, but a chance to tie the game up.
This one looks as if it's going to take a seat, and it will be a 2, and that game is all now tied at 3 each after 4 ends.
Muss nur hinten
Well,
haben, weil-
another yellow into the house, but doesn't really add any pressure to the Russians. Yeah, as I was saying before, it's Germany, fair enough, they're going to force the one here, which is a good result, but they're not really going to steal, you wouldn't have thought, against this Russian team. Nailed it. Great shot there by Fomina. Sticks it in behind as well.
Yeah, it's a great shot by the third. Both thirds playing really, really well in this game.
Well, that might just turn things around. He needed a big shot from the Russians if they wanted to score two.
Yeah, but got to be cautious with this though. If you drive this in the nose, the red stone that's just short of the rings, the guard might bounce over on top of the yellows. So, taking it across the face and just missed the double.
And again, Fomina playing the difficult shots so that Anna Sidorova doesn't have to. And Anna's just going to try and split the rings here. Maybe draw to that yellow at the bottom of your picture there.
Yeah, so just going to throw this one back 8 foot away onto the back yellow on the left. So, relatively simple shot. Does have a little bit of backing as well. But like I said, it's a difficult hand to come into the crowd, let's say, the barrier side, and all three of them in it. This one.
Yeah, this is the frostier side of the sheet, and we've seen a lot of people come up short the draws. But Anna Sidorova not falling for that. And gets it down in there to lie to. Is there a chance for Andrea to make a double though?
Certainly think the double's there.
Also ich muss ihn auf jeden Fall haben.
You see all three of them in working hard on this one. Not very often you see the skip up swooping their own stone.
Yeah, really good angle of their swooping.
So big shot for Andrea Schopp. Relatively soft too to give back though.
Oh, I think I mean, it was just really one missed run back, wasn't it? It was a super shot played by Fomina, followed up a half shot, and Andrea's fairly launched this one.
And is it going to curl enough? Just doesn't, and it springs across the top of the red, and that will leave Anna Sidorova a chance to just draw fully 8 foot for two and the lead once more.
Ist Mühe. Ist übliche Mühe. Wenn du so viel weniger.
So final stone of the fifth end for Anna Sidrova.
Хороший вес. Скажи, когда валить будет. Валит? Нет, нет, пока нет. Когда сам.
A little bit surprised they've changed the ice. Might have just thrown the same hand, same line.
Sweep.
But judged it to perfection, and they will make two and extend their lead to 5-3 at the break.
Давайте, молодцы, все, здесь. Меня тоже, извините. Ну, меня. Щаем друг друга.
Well, here in the second end, Andrea Schopp of Germany facing two red stones of Russia in the house, and a very tricky draw. Manages to steer this one nicely through the port and down into the forefoot. Great sweeping by the RUS sisters, and it would be a score of 1 to tie the game for Germany. Then into the third end. Loads of Yellowstones in the house, but all out-counted by that red stone on the button, and Anna Sidorova just had to find the 8-foot circle to put the first score of 2 of the game on the board, and it would be 3-1 after 3 ends. Then here in the fourth, a terrific draw behind the corner guard there by Monica Wagner. And then here comes Andrea Schopp just following it down. And never in doubt. Score of 2 makes it 3 each. And then Russia took 2 back in the fifth end, half time here, and Russia 5, Germany 3. Well, we're going to get an update from Czech Republic and Switzerland. Denmark currently leading by 4 shots to 2. Sorry, Czech Republic leading by 4 shots to 2. And no problem at all. Well, they're having a little look at how many it is, but I think the confirmation is there's a score of 2 for the Czech Republic, and half-time there it's Czech Republic 6, Switzerland 2. Elsewhere, Finland trailing Denmark by 3 shots to 1. Latvia and Sweden tied at 3 each, and Scotland leading Estonia by 4 shots to 3.
Это-то? Она до конца борется по-любому, так что... Ага. Спасает. Какая же будешь? Двойной на... Чего? 50 лет толстый. Ну нет, там...
Fertig sein, wenn es wird Eis gegeben. Alles schon bereit machen, dass bloß noch spielen muss.
Aber geht das denn von Aktivieren her, wenn Sie
Okay
noch
sagen,
überlegen?
egal ob die da noch mit der Hand ist,
Ja.
bis du fertig bist, ist die Zeit richtig.
Ja, eben. Kann ich nochmal
Also
aktivieren?
mach das, wenn ich sage, okay, dann spielst du einfach
Du musst
schon.
halt, in dem
Machst du als
Moment,
wenn...
wo sie dann Eis gibt, musst du halt schnell aktivieren und losgehen.
Ja, das probiere ich heute schon.
Das heißt, dich runterstehst, nochmal auf und setzt die wieder hin.
Ja.
Wenn du das Aufstehen weglässt,
Ich muss aber fürs Ausrichten. Also
aber das
sonst
ist
kommt es
alles
ja noch.
Well, quite clearly Russia outplaying the Germans in shots made, and that showing for an extra 2 points on the board as well. But look at the difference in the hits, a whole 20% there. And that was certainly what made the difference in the fifth end there. A great takeout by Fomina, followed by a miss on a takeout from Shop. And the score 2 went on the board. So welcome back to the Gruyère European Curling Championships 2014, coming to you live from Le Palladium, Champéry, Switzerland. I'm Logan Gray, and with me Kenny Edwards, bringing you live coverage of Germany against Russia in session 6 of the women's competition. And Russia looking like they're starting to move through the gears here, Kenny.
Yeah, certainly at 4th and 5th ends, the tried to really get the corner guards up and dictate the play. Some great play by Fomina, the Russian third player. It's probably been the difference so far in this game.
Lisa Ruch playing 85% for the game. Good shooting by the German lead. She'll have to maintain that level if Germany are to get a win in this game.
Okay. Gut, Lisa.
Ekaterina Galkina 80% for this game. I don't think she's got the best pair of match stones. Certainly the second one she tends to throw is a little bit short all the time.
Начало, да, пока? Начало. Начало, нет? Начало сам.
But makes a couple of good shots there.
And Andrea Schopp never really want to leave too many stones around the forefoot when she has the last stone. We'll play the takeout here with Lisa Ruch.
Doesn't make the double, rolls to the centre, so chance for Russia just to hit and roll onto the red on the right.
Well, a hit and roll creates good separation between these two red stones, but Russia really wants to keep the play in the middle of the sheet here, and Germany with a chance to move it over towards the corner guard now. Kirsten Ruch having a bit of a nightmare, playing 53%. We've seen some very errant takeouts in the first half.
And trying to make the roll in behind the corner.
Yeah, nice attempt. Nikaruka Eshke playing 84%. Play by the Russian alternate. Just newly in here for session 6. Of course, Alexandra Saitova has played the first 5 games. And Germany are going to make a takeout on that red stone. too close to the button for their liking. Sweden and Latvia tied game over on sheet D. And final stone here, Anna Hasselborg. Going for the high hard one and a bit wide here. Does jam it, but still just the one. And Latvia now leading Sweden by 4 shots to 3. Could there be an upset on the cards there, I wonder?
Yeah, so straight away, Anna Sidorova just going to ignore the fact they've got her red in behind the corner guard and just going to peel this one off.
Following just playing 70% at the moment. And has she got contact? She does. Yeah, I think that's a smart play there by the Russians. They don't want to get dragged into a game around the corner guard where they're not going to get that much reward from it. Oh, Monica Wagner, solid once again, 78%. Oh, I may have just cursed her. Does enough to get it out of there again. Just.
Yeah, so that good call from Anna Sidorova has allowed Russian girls to tidy things up.
Yeah, and I think they'll be more than content to blank the 6th end and give Germany on the, give them the last one advantage in 7. And obviously the Russians haven't been at their brilliant best in this game, but what does the Germans need to do to turn this one around?
I think just their takeout play has been rather weak, hitting and rolling out a play. I've already seen that in this end already, so if they could just maybe sharpen up on their takeouts, maybe drop the weight ever so slightly. And just as I say that, that's where they make a mistake once again, heading and rolling out a play.
Сюда? Его сложнее делать туда ротом. Это хорошо, когда стоит.
Russia will just throw this one into the ring somewhere.
Слабее должно быть. Возможно, будет 8 нет. Да. Давай на 9. 8-5, да? 8-5.
Yeah, we see a lot of teams in this position throwing a draw to the button to give their opposition skip the furthest distance to roll to blank the end. And Sidorova playing 88%. She's trying to draw the wing here though. She feels like Andrea's a little bit weaker on the intern side of the sheet. And as such, she might be able to get a miss and Germany might have to score 1.
Yeah, I made sure they weren't short with that one. Really would be a sin if you didn't, if you threw a corner guard with your stone and leave something for Andrea Schopp to draw around. Only 53% in this game. And again, hitting and rolling out of play. So I think we'll see Russia try and corner freeze the back yellow and maybe force one. Maybe hope for a slight mistake from Andrea Schopp.
Yeah, maybe a little bit surprised if they were wanting to do this. They didn't do it with the first one and try and get one over there and maybe give them the chance to lie two with their last stone. Let's see how this works out for the Russian skipper.
Вес есть точно. Сильнее. Катя, Катя. Конец дома. Я сказала, сильновато. Конец. Бабуч. Вообще вылет по Гадану, можно сдохнуть. Без упора.
Well, this one goes right through the house and Shop will just have to throw her final stone of the 6th end away to keep the last stone going forward. And that's exactly what they will do.
Yeah, just throwing it to the opposite side and retain that last stone advantage.
Well, 6 ends played here, and here in session 6, Russia leading Germany by 5 shots to 3. We'll look at the scoreboard there, trading twos in the middle of the game, 3, 4 and 5. 6th end's blanked, and this is the 7th end.
Yeah, so again, Russia just calling top of the forefoot. And let's see if Germany can throw the corner guard this time.
Yeah, and a good look there. Just Anna Sidorova keeping a good close eye on what the Germans are doing, trying to learn as much as she can from the German stones as well as her own. Well, Galkina is just going to throw the guard on this time. Well, we've got a hog line violation, the first one I've seen this week. See the disco lights going off on the top of the handle there. I don't think Katerina can quite believe it. Still a light, red light flashing away there. If that had been correctly released, then I would have turned to a solid green colour. And let's just take another look at this. Just had a little finger on it at the end there, I fancy.
Yeah, just dragged it over the hog line, and these handles, great creation. Just puts any doubt of it being over in technology rather as someone's eye.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of the subjectivity out of the equation. There's less volunteer jobs though. So after that mistake there by Galkina, Eshke just going to throw a guard on. So at the moment we've got 2 corner guards of such, and 2 red stones in the centre line, and Germany are going to try and manipulate the play to go behind those yellow guards, keep the centre open.
Yeah, I'll probably just peel the guard singly this time. That makes the peel okay.
Estonia, Scotland. Estonia trailing by 1 shot here in the 6th end, and Eve coming out with an absolute rocket here.
Yeah, just inside of nose on the left-hand stone. I think you could be able to pick up 2.
Well, doesn't hit it quite right, but good enough to score 1 and keep a nice lead for the Scots, now leading Estonia by 5 shots to 3. An important game for Scotland. It's not been at their best this week, but if they can get themselves into the playoffs, anything can happen.
Position so, oder? Genau. Versuch so.
I think Germany are just going to run this one straight back and try and lift the double. This one looks a little narrow though. Sweepers are on it. And just catches the other red and stays in the house. It's a difficult decision now for Russia. You either split the red back in behind the corner and roll your shooter in behind the 2 yellows on the right, or just play the straightforward draw. Probably prefer the straightforward draw. That's what they've elected to do. Margareta Fomina just wants to tuck in a little bit and does get in behind the 2 yellows, but the double off the red on the right is relatively easy. You see it, that red stone tucked right in behind the 2 yellows. And just doesn't quite catch the second red. So if you're Russia, what do you do? Do you come right in on top of it once again? A little too late in the end to be peeling the corners. I think that's all you've got, is to come right round in behind it. Just keeping this one clean all the way down.
Самое начало. Можешь подтягивать. Свит! Свит, давай, 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 давай.
Not really curled as much as the first one. So Germany might be able to see all of it.
Не довалил. Есть, да?
And then you can see from the front angle, the double is certainly makeable on the in turn. That's over in sheet B, Finland, Denmark. Denmark trying to get on to 4 wins. They're leading 5-1. But Finland already sitting one. And Sanna Puustinen for Finland looking to draw the 4 for 2 points here in the 6th. Supers going hard on it. Have they done enough? And all that work didn't pay off, and will be only a single point to Finland. They trail 5-2 after 6 ends. Andrea Schaub, I think, is just going to ignore.
Anna Sidorova.
Anna Sidorova is going to ignore these 2 reds and maybe come around them, I think. Just going to ignore guarding it. She was tapping back at the 4.
Вес есть! Очень много. Катя, очень много линий.
Yeah, it's a good opportunity for the Russians.
Начало. Только начало. Все.
Germany do still have 2 stones left in this end to tidy things up a bit.
And just didn't get in behind though. That was the risk of ignoring the guard.
Yeah, for me, the Russians just don't seem quite as clinical as they were last night. It was a great chance.
Не брали? Не уверена, честно говоря. Мне кажется, он бы сел просто под 2-0. Какой-нибудь или по-другому.
Still giving Andrea something to think about, though. I think she can accept that she's probably not going to score 2 here. She needs to give herself the best chance of scoring 1.
So, dass liegen bleibt. Minimal nach innen rollen.
Well, for me, the best option might actually be to drive the yellow guard in and just try and really open things up. I don't think they're going to get too much value from hitting this red one. And it's that yellow that's blocking the out-turn draw at the moment if it was available. So the key for Andrea is not to hit this one on the nose. I think she'll want to roll away and try and keep that in-turn side open.
Yeah, certainly. So let's see what the great Andrea can do with this one. Hits and rolls just in on top of the red. Leaves Russia sitting 1.
Yeah, I think it'll be same draw though for the Russians. What was always the risk? She couldn't really play a nose hit, but any sort of hit and roll is going to let Anna Sidorova play this same draw once more.
Yeah, so I'll probably want this one back at the tee. Back 8 foot maybe. Don't want to leave a double at the top of the house.
Yeah, certainly if they can get it down there, at least to the top of the 4 foot, I think they should be okay. If they come up any shorter and a little bit wide, then that could be a problem. Certainly got a lot of curling to do, I would say, at the moment.
Played on the safe side. That'll force Andrea just to take her one, come and follow that red stone played by Anna Sidorova. So, final stone for Andrea Schopp here in the 7th end. Being forced to draw against 2. And coming down this right-hand side. It's fairly tricky coming down off this handle, but this one looks okay. And it will be a single point to Germany. They now trail 5-4 to Russia. So Germany been forced to try and steal in this 8th end.
Yeah, and if you have just joined us, this is session 6 of the women's competition, the 2014 Le Gruyère European Curling Championships, live from the Le Palladium in Champéry, Switzerland. My name's Logan Gray and Kenny Edwards alongside me. And it's been a reasonably tight affair. Neither team playing at their best, but Russia just squeaking it at the moment. And a nice draw around there by Katerina Galkina.
Germany playing the takeout on this red stone in the 4. That's probably been the difference between the two teams. The takeout play from Germany has been pretty poor, hitting and rolling quite a lot. Just maybe need to drop the weight back a little.
War ein bisschen schnell.
Ja, aber ich glaube, eigentlich wollte sie Heck.
Well, surprisingly, Lisa Rook outplaying Ekaterina Galkina. Well, I've mentioned we don't think Galkina has the best 2 stones, and certainly when you hog one of them, then that's definitely going to knock a few % off your total. Well, makes the hit and stick on the wing.
Две, да, она точно? Одну. Что ты говоришь? Здесь не очень валит. Не очень.
Good effort at the hit and roll there from Eshke. Certainly brings the guard at the top of your screen at least into the German second's eye line here. Kirsten Ruch, 0% for draws and trailing Eshke by 28%. Here's Linda Klimova, leading Switzerland by 6 shots to 4. And facing 3 yellows, the sweepers are really going to have to go in this. Wow, doesn't even find the rings. And it's a steal of 3 for Switzerland. And now leading by 7 shots to 6.
So Monica Wagner, I think, trying to play the chip on the red. This one looks pretty high though. Flassy's right past everything.
Well, that's the first real mistake we've seen from Monica. She's been pretty solid throughout this game. And now Margareta Fomina with a nice chance here to split the rings, and if Russia could score 2,
Come on.
Yeah, so do split the rings. Germany being forced to play the takeout. They made a nice hit and roll in behind. That's a great effort from Monica Wagner, dragging the player around back of tee, in behind the centre. That's exactly where Germany want it.
Yeah, it certainly makes up for that previous error. And a slightly more delicate shot required here for Fomina, playing 77% against Wagner's 62.
Yeah, so Russia electing to play with a little bit of weight to move things away from the centre. Latvia, Sweden. Latvia trailing by 1, drawing against which looks like maybe 6 stones. Is this one done enough?
Well, this could be a huge steal here. How many is it? 2, maybe 3?
Possibly Anna Hasselberg in there straight away to try and sweep that one through. It's certainly 1. So all. No, they're moving the stones away. They didn't need the measure. So I think it was just the 1 point to Sweden.
Well, we're just waiting on the umpire sticking this one up on the board on the left-hand side here. Oh, only 1. So Sweden now moving to a 6-4 advantage after 7 ends. And Germany look like they've maybe called a timeout here.
Yeah, I think you're in the 8th end. Probably got to come around maybe this double centre. And that's something you don't see very often, is the actual coach on the ice.
I don't think he's really supposed to be on there, is he?
He's not supposed to be on the ice, no, he's not supposed to be on the playing field. So there's no real benefit from playing the takeout in the outside red.
No, they play the takeout back there, then Russia are just going to freeze it, and then they might even score 3. So I think Andrea needs to take a risk here.
Going for the out-turn draw. The line looks pretty high at the moment. Doesn't get tucked in enough.
That's a shame, really, because the weight was so good there. Just another half a stone a curl would have made things so much more difficult for Russia. Sidorova outplaying shot by 20%, and we saw this the other day as well, that Andrea was quite low on her takeouts, but she's probably having to play quite a lot of run backs. certainly against the better teams. She's had a couple of them today.
Well, you can see that yellow rock is wide open.
Well, full focus here for Anna Sidorova. I think she definitely smells blood here in the 8th end.
Нет, совсем! Совсем нет. Роль. Да, бери. Двушка была. 2.
Well, final score there. And Denmark have handed Finland their 2nd loss of the week. Finland off to 4 wins to start the week, and then they've just started to tail off. Lost a game last night and lost another one today, so starting to come back to the pack. And Denmark will actually join them on 4 wins and 2 losses. Still really 7 teams in contention for the playoff stages in the women's event.
Yeah, so all Andrea Schopp has now is a hit and roll in behind. Really needs to make this. But just catches it on the inside, and that's going to be a free draw to the paint for Russia. And at 4 down, you've got to think it's a long way back.
Well, choosing to go on the intern here. It does look like a slightly narrower side of the sheet, but this could be quite a smart call from the Russians, choosing to go down the side of the sheet. It seems to be a little bit better, the barrier side. The other side it is more open, but does seem to be a lot more frost over there.
Yeah, so let's have a look at the timer on the screen. Quite a lot of rotation on this one though, Logan.
Yeah, it could just help it run a little bit further. 14-1 should be in the ballpark. And a very nice draw there from Anna Sidorova. And it's a score of 3 for Russia. And after 8 ends, Russia now lead Germany by 8 shots to 4. Russia looking good for getting their 6th win of the week. Well, great hammer efficiency from the Russians. Every time they've had the hammer, they've scored 2 or more. And Germany with a mountain to climb here in Champéry. So again, Katarina Galkina, you very rarely see her go to the back of the tee line. It's another one in the front of the house, and that will need to be moved at some point by the Germans, you would think. Need to throw a corner guard at the moment and make the most of the free guard zone rule. It is there to benefit the team who are chasing the game.
Whoa! Nein! Nein, 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 nein.
Yeah, so Russia just going to throw this one away, I think. Don't want too many stones in play.
Yeah, I think typically your lead will throw away your worst stone when they're playing that shot. Going to be another corner guard here for Lisa Ruch. Had a good game.
Yeah, she's not done too much wrong. Like we said, just maybe their takeout play throughout the team hasn't been what you'd expect. And it is their first European Championships for the front end of Germany.
Yeah, absolutely. And Lisa Ruch, just 21 years old.
So Russia now just trying to tidy things up by peeling the corners off. And then 9-4 down. It's a big ask, Logan, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. That you would think that they'll probably need to score at least 3 here in this 9-10 to have any chance. And then they'll probably require a couple of steals after that. So much work to be done here for the Germans. And Kirsten Ruch's really struggled today. And this one's just going to stop in time to be a usable corner guard. I don't think we'll see too many heroics here from the Russians. They just need to make their single peels, and if they do that for the rest of the game, then they'll certainly take this game down and get another win on the board.
Yeah, so that removes the yellow. At some point, I think we might see Germany come around this red, maybe.
It's definitely an option. I'm not sure it's one that Andrea will come up with, but I think first option's to use the corner guards at the moment, anyway.
Wo ist der?
So wie eben. Bisschen
Ja,
kürzer.
ja!
Bisschen kürzer.
Ja!
I think this is just going to be like a double corner guard. That yellow is reasonably close to the ring, so they might be able to split that at some stage. I'd say like that redstone's quite high in the house. I quite like the option of going around it. It's I would say it's quite a modern tactic.
Yeah, so trying
What
to
we got here.
gets a little bit fortunate there, pushing the yellow in between the yellow and the red.
Yeah, I would say more than a little bit fortunate. It's maybe just one to forget about it from Fomina, and doesn't do too much damage, as you say, Kenny.
attempting to, I think, freeze this or maybe tap the red back. And just looking for that to grab on at the back.
Well, manages to keep it in play for a freeze later. The secretary from Garmisch Partenkirchen. Meanwhile, 6 yellows in the house for Sweden. And Latvia needing to make this draw to keep themselves alive. Greta Stasys Arsuna. Well, draws are definitely her forte, so this is an absolute must make.
Yeah, she had to play against 5 in the 7th end.
No problem at all. Right down onto the lead, cool as you like. And Stasys Arsuna keeping Latvia alive. 6-5 there after 8 ends.
Yeah, so they do make a draw in behind that corner guard. I think we'll just see Anna just peel the corner off, not get too fancy.
Yeah, another nice in-turn draw there from Monica. Remember playing one a few ends ago to set up a deuce in the 4th end. It's important to just get this off. There's a fault with the handle here. I just saw the stone blinking as she slid out. I think they'll need to take a look at that handle to make sure it happens.
Not a bit surprised the Germans didn't spot that.
Yeah, we'll just watch when it's coming out here. Then you see the light go off, and then it goes red, and then it goes green about now, and red and green. So, yeah, it should either just blink red when it's badly released, or sorry, when it's a hogline violation, or it should just go a solid green color. Shouldn't really do too much when you're sliding out. So, a little bit of excitement there. I seem to remember that one of the stones in one of the other games doing something similar on this sheet there. I thought there was some sort of a problem with the handle, but it didn't really come to anything then either. Well, a really nice draw here from Andrea, splitting the house and looking good for scoring 2. Not sure that's going to be enough. Estonia 5, Scotland 5. And here's Eve Muirhead playing the draw in the 8th end, trying to score 2.
Easy! Just wait!
Just really needs to find the 8-foot with this. And absolutely no problem. Down onto the tee. And Scotland now leading Estonia by 7 shots to 5 after 8 ends. Back in our featured sheet, Anna Sidorova just playing the open takeout on the wing.
Yeah, I'll look to try and check into set shot and force Andrea Schott to play the hit, but catches it on the wrong side, so just a straightforward draw for 2.
should be straightforward. Final stone of the 9th end. Andrea Schopp just needs to find the paint. Again, we're looking for around about 14 and a half seconds to find the house. 13.8, so should be all there. And very nicely done by the German skip. Still going to be a big ask for Germany. Trailing by 2, they don't have the last stone in the 10th end, and they're going to need a lot of mistakes from the Russians. 9 ends played here in session 6, and it's Russia 8, Germany 6. Well, Kenny, what's the kind of standard setup here for when you're trying to steal 2?
There's a couple of ways of going about it. You could throw the centre guard option, or you could go the corner guard option and just maybe force them to play against maybe 2 or 3. You are certainly looking for a couple of mistakes to steal a 2.
Yeah, and most of all, it needs to be on the last stone of the end. So here's Ekaterina Galkina. Interestingly, playing a draw around the centre. I thought that maybe be ill-advised. I think you'll see a lot of teams play a tick shot in this circumstance. Oh, you can always rely on Katie to keep it in front of the tee line, though.
Yeah, she's had a really good weight control in this game.
Does just give Germany another stone to work with, another stone to freeze on.
Yeah, I think I might be tempted to throw another guard with this one, though.
Well, this is really over curling. It's right on the nose of the top yellow. It's absolutely key when you're trying to do this to keep your stones well spread out and try and avoid leaving double takeouts for your opposition. That's not a great start there from the German lead.
Yeah, they're just going to ignore these. They're not going to go for the tick shot with this stone. I think they're quite happy with the way the 2 yellows are sitting. So throws this one right in on top. That's a great shot.
Yeah, good execution. I'm still not too sure about the tactic, but as we say, it's better to make a bad call and make the shot than make the right call and miss it. So.
This out-turn draw is just going to come up a little bit short, maybe. No, it comes down onto the button. But I think we'll see straight away Anna Sidrova is going to take the guards off.
Well, they could have tried something a little bit more adventurous there and even tried to move the guards around a little bit. It's a very straightforward double peel. Should be anyway for SK. Well, mistake there.
Yeah, would have liked to have got rid of both of them. It was a relatively easy double.
Yeah, it just looked like a little bit of a fan on release.
Yeah, I think you've got to throw another guard with this.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can get around that yellow guard that was left by Eshke, then get a nice tight guard in there. Keep all your yellows in the line. And the red stones in the house are actually sitting quite nice for the Germans as well. So final stone of the 9th end here in the Switzerland, Czech Republic. Came over, now trailing by 4. And she does have a run back to score 2 on the cards here. Has she got it? Oh, touches it. But still a steal of 1, and I think that might be curtains. Just a disastrous second half of that game for the Czech Republic. They shipped 9 points at 4 ends there. After being well up in the game. They're leading by 6 shots to 2 at one point. And 9 points unanswered gives the reigning world champions their 4th win of the week. And home nation starting to come good. And the players showing their appreciation to the crowd. Great atmosphere in here in Le Palladium. And they've got a chance here.
Yeah, they certainly do. I've got a couple of goals to play. But them 2 red stones that were played by Katerina Galkina, the Russian lead, I think they've got to maybe move them with at least Monica's 2nd stone.
Well, looks like that's what they're going for now. If they could ever just tap this on the nose, or even just inside the nose, and leave themselves frozen on there, that would be ideal right now for Germany. And that's the wrong side of the tap. And you might just see a few yellow stones disappear with this next one.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised they're looking at the double on the top ones. I think stones that are going to cause you a problem are that red one at the back of the tee, so I think just inside nose of the yellow on the left would be perfect.
Yeah, I think the stones that are causing the Russian problem are all of the ones closest to the button. So for me, get rid of as many of them as possible and open up your scoring area. And there's a good opportunity to get 2 yellows out of the rings here.
Вес какой? Ну, 7. Так попасть.
Okay, so they are hitting the one that we talked about. And actually, I think if they can run their shooter at all, that would be good for Russia as well.
So it's pulling hard off the centre though. And not a great result, really.
No, it was not. Leaves a little half check there on the 2 stones at the top of the rings. Could be useful for Germany also.
You see this one just over curling.
So it looks like Schwab just nominating a tap back with Wagner's 2nd stone.
pretty good on this one. Have they managed to get past the top one? They have, but it's going to slip a little bit too far.
I still don't think that's a disaster. As long as they have yellow stones in the house, then maybe at some point they can make Russia phase 3. But could there be a triple takeout on for Russia here? Try and run this front yellow across the face of the one on the tee line and send it back onto the one at the back of the 8 foot. That's the plan.
Sound pretty close to this one. And moves things around, so you've got to expect Anna Sidrova's going to have to play her last shot.
Well, Andrea's going to have to bring these backstones into play, so she needs to make some takeouts, I would suggest. I'd be tempted to hit that one closest to the button there and try and roll in behind the one in the front of the 8 foot circle. The goal here has got to be to make Russia phase 3 with her last stone now.
Of course, Germany have already used their timeout as well. So they can't consult with the bench here in the 10th.
Knapp. Ist halt die Frage, mit welcher Länge. Spielt man langsam oder?
So Heck, oder?
Na, schiebt man einfach nur ein Stück nach hinten, dass man das Spielstelle herläuft?
Dann ist er bloß die Frage, ob er uns dann später ja selber im Weg ist.
Lass das mal ein bisschen mehr schieben.
Yeah, so taking their time over this. Be interesting to see how long they have on the clocks. There you see.
Right on cue. Germany with just over 3.5 minutes for their last 2 stones. Of course, we're on thinking time these days, so that is plenty of time. Russia with just under 6.5 minutes.
So I think that's what they're going to call is the draw just behind the top red. So what can the great Andrea Schopp do here in the 10th end?
Well, looks like she's got enough weight to tap it through. It's a bit getting a shooter here as well. They want to get that redstone back.
Well, I think there's going to be a pull there for Anna Sidorova to really to win the game.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that shot selection there. I think they played on the right stone, but you need to make sure that red stone at the back goes through.
Yeah, you see the yellow on the 1 foot. Drive that back into the other yellows at back of the house.
It's going to be so difficult. Like even if Anna misses here, it's going to be so difficult for Germany to be able to bring these stones at the back of the rings into play now. The red stones in the house pretty well separated and difficult to play a double.
Yeah, so just looking for around 3/4 stone in this.
Anna Sidorova, 88% on 4 hits. And looks pretty close to the nose here. Will she get 2? She will not, but certainly going to be very difficult to see Germany lying 3. They may be able to lie 2 though. And of course they require to score 2.
Yeah, I think they've just done enough to sit first and second. So all Andrea Schock can do is play the double. So that's what she's going for.
Well, Andrea Schopp, a pretty miserable 47% for 9 hits. Needs a good one here though.
All the sweepers on pretty early. And this one's looking a little tight away. But that one's going to over curl and jams into the back yellow. And it will be another win for Russia.
Yeah, the Russian train rolls on with a 6th victory of the week. Perfect Russia win 9-6 over Germany. Germany will go to 3 wins and 3 losses.
Кира, возьми мою тоже кофту. Ладно. Спасибо.
So impressive stuff so far this week from the Russians. All but qualified now for the Page playoffs. And we're just going to make our way over to the other side of the Palladium and join some extra end action between Scotland and Estonia. Can maybe see the scoreboard in the background there. Estonia picking up 3 in the 10th end to tie things up. Eve Muirhead with a complete miss on an open takeout with her first stone, and then unable to make a double with her second. And Mela Mulder just calmly drawing into the house to extend the game.
I think this way a little bit. That way a little bit. Like upper? Like this? Yeah.
Okay, so just rearranging the stones after that free guard zone violation. It'd be a big shock if Estonia were to take down Scotland today. Estonia winless this week. Scotland a little bit out of sorts, but still managing to be on 3 wins and 2 losses.
Kaks ei tohi, kas 1 või 3? Too nüüd, muidu mängib laiali. Oh, ei, nüüd ei midagi. Ei, ta lööb selle vastu. Oota palun. Ei, ja, nüüd.
Well, Estonia haven't been able to steal in the game.
Okay.
They're going to have to if they want to win this here in 11. Double centre goes up, and Scotland now going to draw around. Of course, they do need to score here in the extra. Well, not a great shot there from Sarah Reid. Drift to the back of the 8-foot circle. And that's only going to work in Estonia's favour as well. Here's Helen Nummert.
Mida? No kullakesed, Helen, mees 3 oli vaja. Ei, Ari päris ära. Ei. No.
Well, this is a super draw. Don't think they need to take that one back as far as they did, but a really nice draw there by the Estonian second. Well, this is usually Vicky Adams' strength, pulling guards. She can throw it so hard and accurate. And they just jumped the sweep in there and backed up a bit. So just a single peel made.
Siin on väga hea. Okay?
I think we'll see Estonia come around once again. Try and get one right to the top of the button.
Okay. Do. Nüüd kõvari. Täishari. Ja, siia. Vaata siia. Kõva töö. Ja. Tuleb.
Bit short of legs here this time.
Tuleb natuke.
Quite a big misjudgment, that one, by the Estonian second. And it's going to be Anna Sloan's turn this time. Anna Sloan, the third player for Scotland, full-time curler from Lockerbie.
Yeah, let's give it a go, I think. Even if we go thin, I think maybe might be better, Vic. Yeah, thin.
My apologies, there's still one to come for Scotland, so Vicky Adams didn't manage to make the double peel the first time, but maybe the second time. That big extension, the 25-year-old, born in Edinburgh.
Whoa! Roll it, Sarah, roll it. Okay.
Well, again, just gets the one. They were a little bit more awkward than the previous one.
Kui ta jääb üles, on ka okei. Aga siin oleks parem. Võib-olla siin 3 peal, eks?
So yet another chance here for the Estonians to get one right down into a stealing position. Looking for one just at the front of the button. It is Marie Turman,
Natuke sees on.
the 19-year-old.
Puhasta. Kuhu tuleb, räägi, Küllike esimene. Ja! Ei.
Yeah, this red stone at the back of the 1 foot is the trouble stone, but you cannot catch the centre guard.
Yeah, that's absolutely criminal. Huge mistake there by the third, but meanwhile, sheet D, final stone of the 10th end, and Anna Hasselborg just really needs to find her stone fully into the paint. There is a stone, a red Latvian stone, on the edge of the house, covered by a guard.
I think we know.
So a timeout called by Scotland, and Anna Hasselborg's stone just making its way down nicely into 4 foot and onto the 1 foot, and another win for Sweden. They're going to now move to 4 wins and 2 losses. Really important win, and really important to stay with all these 4-win teams. In Switzerland at 4, Denmark at 4, Finland at 4, and now Sweden at 4. Latvia, they only have 1 win so far this week. And I'm sure the Latvians will be cheering for Scotland. They won't want the Estonians to start picking up unexpected wins.
Feeling it away. Right, okay.
Yeah, Scotland
Yeah, oh, I
what's
want
the timeout?
Definitely, 'cause it's not in a nice spot. It's not an easy pick. Do you like that, yeah? Right, okay, clear everything. Heel.
Well, Dave Hay comes down
It's
for
not easy.
the timeout. Of course, the brother of the
I know,
Team
I'm
GB
but it's
chef
just-
de
it's not
mission,
easy
Mike Hay,
distance, Tim. Okay.
at the 2014 Winter Olympics. Well, a little bit surprised at this call. I would have thought these stones at the back of the house would be Eve's friend, really, something to draw up against, but I've been more concerned about the guard up there near the centre line. You disagree, Kenny?
No, I think spray everything at the back of the house. I mean, if you do make a draw round in behind that guard, it's only going to be fully 4. You're going to have a wide open button.
Well, they do want to clear everything at the back of the house here. Oh, super shot here. Anna Sloan. Didn't want to leave Rowan Stone there.
Yeah, here we see it. Just pushing the red onto the yellow and rolling the shooter as well.
Oh, Marie Turman didn't do a good job with her previous draw. Gonna try for a guard this time.
Kaks on hea. Ainult 2. Vau. Ei siis. Ei, keerab üle. Vau, ei. Veel keeravad rohkem.
So looking at that, might be able to get everything moving with this one.
Yeah, I think they need to play the draw there. Keep your stones well separated. And we wouldn't expect Anna Sloan to be too far away with this one. Needs to be careful not to hit this one too thick and spin the top guard onto the centre line.
Whoa! Yeah! Hard sit up! Good.
Terrific shot by Anna Sloan, and this end very much looks like it's going to be Scotland's at the moment. Nothing really threatening them.
Nice shot.
Yeah, the centre line wide open. So expect Estonia to throw another centre guard with this.
Vaata, et kaks on ka hea. Kaks on ka hea. Kaugel, vau, oota korra.
So Mille Mulder
Helen
just
esimene.
trying to
Vii,
get this one on the
joone
centre line and hope for a miss from Eve Muirhead. She got one in the last end.
Kõik. Okei.
Yeah, so nice, nice guard, but you've got to expect Eve Muirhead to be able to remove it from play.
Yeah, at the top level, a single peel should be one of the most straightforward shots in the book. Eve Muirhead, the 24-year-old from Blair Athol in Scotland.
Yep. Clean.
And no problems with that one. So all that Estonia can really do is draw into the 8-foot behind that guard at the top of the screen. Well, they've called a timeout, but
Ilmselt siia oleks mõistlik panna, on ju.
I guess the other option is that they could try and split it at line 2. Probably a more difficult shot, but They're not really going to get either of their stones very close to the button playing that shot.
no meil siin eelmises polnud mõtet. Ma arvan, et sa tahagi, vaata, mis järgi äkki tal on mingi geniaalne plaan. Ma mõtlesin ka, kas on raskem vise kui asetus. Ja see on ka terve pesa nagu asetada, et noh.
Yeah, that's actually what they're looking at. I think Logan is possibly trying to split the corner guard into the house and sit two.
So here's Erki Lil.
Siia.
Related to Martin and Harry Lil, who are playing in the B group for Estonia this week.
Ta keerab siit nüüd. Okei. No Küllike pani siia servakaitset tegelikult sellise suuna peale, aga ma arvan, anname turvalise suuna. Jaa, anname turvalise suuna, just. Jah, jah.
Well, I think the draw is the right shot.
Ja, ja.
Just get one down in behind the cover and into the 8-foot circle and just hope
9-5.
that Eve Muirhead has a complete mess with her last stone.
Okei. Okei. Lähme teeme ära see viske.
So Estonians keeping the ice fairly clean, so they maybe had a couple of pickups over on this far sheet. It is the furthest from the crowd. The arena only having seating on one side really of the palladium.
Well, I did see one in the 10th end actually where one of the Estonian stones just stopped dead in the middle of the sheet. So 95% though on 10 draws for Mulder. She's going to need a 100% one here if she wants to force a mistake.
Still looking for this one tucked in behind. Have they got enough weight?
Oh, it's a great effort. Well, I don't think she could have done too much more with that, Kenny. That is a splendid draw from the Estonian skip, and Eve Muirhead will have to touch the 4-foot here with her final stone. And what a moment this would be for Estonia if they managed to turn over the ex-world champion Eve Muirhead of Scotland.
Yeah, it would be a shock result. But the Estonians have played very well. Yet to win a game here at the A group.
Well, 83% for her draws today, Eve. And Adams and Reid put the brushes down immediately.
Have a look.
7 certainly a good sign from the sweepers. That's the T line.
Sweepers are going to have to go really hard on this one. All them hours in the gym, have they paid off? Have they managed to drag it down? I don't think they have. And it's going to be a steal of 1 and a win for Estonia.
Thank you.
Wow. Scotland 3 shots up with 1 end to go, give up 3. And then a steal in the extra end, and Estonia with their first win of the European Championships 2014. Yeah, and clearly just means so much to them. Absolutely thrilled. New to the A group this year, Estonia, and they've beaten Scotland, one of the favourites, by 9 shots to 8. Well, that's a big setback for Scotland. 3 wins and 3 losses now this week, alongside Germany. And they're now behind Sweden, Switzerland, Finland and Denmark, all on 4 wins, and Russia on 6 wins. Well, our featured game is Russia and Scotland, and here in the fifth end, you see Russia playing the Redstones, lying one on the tee line there. And here's Anna Sidorova just having to draw the 8 foot to take a 2-shot lead. And of course, does so perfectly. 5-3 at half-time the score. And here in the 8th end was really the moment that really killed the game for Germany. Anna Sidorova just needed to find the paint for 3, and she did that as well. So now Andrea Schopp having to draw for 2, trailing by 4, and follows Monica Wagner's previous draw down behind the corner and into the 8 foot to score 2. And it would be a 2-shot game coming home, but Germany couldn't do what was required to get them 2 more shots that they needed, and Russia win this one by 9 shots to 6 and stay perfect on 6 wins and no losses. Elsewhere here in draw 6, Finland lose to Denmark by 8 shots to 2. Switzerland beat Czech Republic by 11 shots to 6. Sweden take Latvia by 7 to 5. And the huge shock result of the draw, Estonia getting their first win against Scotland by 9 shots to 8. And this is how they stack up after session 6. Russia still perfect on 6-0, and then you see Denmark, Finland, Switzerland and Sweden all on 4 wins and 2 losses, joint second place. Germany and Scotland still in contention despite their losses in draw 6 on 3-3, and Estonia and Latvia and Czech Republic fighting it out for that last place in the World Championships.
Anna, a very professional performance. How do you feel?
Feel satisfied. So for now, yeah, we have like 6 games, 6 wins, so I'm pretty satisfied with this.
A team lineup change today. What was the thinking behind that?
Well, first of all, we just don't want to like our alternate to sit all the time, and second is we're pretty sure about us, all of us, and Sasha could also like have a rest a bit.
So that's 6-0. Do you think that's good enough for the playoffs?
You know, I'm probably a bit superstitious, so I'm looking forward to playing next games, and I just want to win. Like, doesn't matter how many games I need to win. I just want to win everything. So.
A very, very, very professional performance. Well done, Anna. Thank you.
Nice.
So that's it for us here in session 6 at the 2014 Gruyère European Curling Championships. Russia defeat Germany by 9 shots to 6, and from myself, Logan Gray and Kenny Edwards, thanks for watching, and join us for more action at 4 p.m.